What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Collector's Outpost. I am John. Today I'm excited. We're taking a look at the brand new Superman from McFarlane. I have a bunch of McFarlane figures that I've collected over the years. Now, I'm getting really hyped about this one. I know some of you are like, I don't know if it's going to be good. I think this Superman is going to be fantastic. This is going to be a really great reboot, and I think they're going in a great direction and nailed this character. It is a hard character to really figure out. When you're basically invincible, you really have to find a good story for Superman. Whatever it seems like James Gunn is doing with this, I think it's going to be amazing, and can't wait for Krypto. I'm a dog guy. I love Krypto so much, and the fact that it's based on his little raggedy dog, God, I love dogs that look like that. Absolutely loved Krypto. Now, mentioning Krypto, McFarlane did seem to make a couple of versions of this. This is just the Superman version here. I'm sure they're going to maybe do a weathered one, you know, kind of like a battle damage one, but they also did put out one with Krypto, like a deluxe version, and unfortunately they did not have that when I grabbed this. I picked this up at Target yesterday, June 1st. I do believe June 1st is when these dropped, so just by accident I came across it at Target, and I did dig through it a little bit to see if they had the version with Krypto, but unfortunately they did not, which means I'm gonna have to buy a second version of this. Now, anyway, let's dig on into this. This is the McFarlane Superman 2025 James Gunn version of this character here. We got the Superman logo and emblem on the side there, and around back we kind of have like a drawing version, an art kind of paint look. I don't know why this just isn't the figure itself, but they went with this more artistic view on that. Again, this is just the single version. It does not come with Krypto. I'm going to try to hunt that down, and I'll do a review on that, but let's get this out of the box. Now, the one thing I'm not seeing is a kind of like a flight stand. I think I see a stand back there, like just like a base, but I'm not seeing a flight stand. Pull this, there's a little insert, let's pull the insert out, and yeah, I was right, this is just a base that I guess pegs into his foot, and we have a card here which is the exact same image as the image on the back of the box, that art kind of paint look version. I am a little bummed that there isn't a flight stand to put him up. They did give us flight hands, you know, as if he's flying around with his hands out like that, you know, that really famous Superman pose. Alright, so here is the baseball card. We have, again, the same image that's on the back of the box there. Superman. And on the back here, we have his stats, I guess. You know, it's just like a baseball card. Real name, Clark Kent, and all that stuff. Let me see if I can hold it up here. You can read it if you want to pause the video. And nothing on the back or anything, nothing in the box. It's just this little platform base here. Again, a little disappointing that there isn't a flight stand. Now, this really doesn't have any accessories outside of a second set of hands. The cape is actually tucked through the plastic here. So, ooh, that's a nice soft rubbery cape. I like that. It's not fabric or anything, but the sculpting and everything, the feel is really nice. Here's everything out and on the table here. Again, no accessories outside of just these extra flight hands here. They're reasonably nicely sculpted. I know it's a little hard to see, but they have some texture and everything on it. The paint is fine. That's the one hand, and here's the other hand here. But yeah, they're fine. They're absolutely fine. We have some decent articulation here. We got the arms that can go up like that. They do rotate this way. Could really get him up there. That's great. So you'll be able to get him in a really nice flying pose, but you won't have a flight stand to put him into. So we can swap the hands out a little bit. This hand, you might have to adjust the peg, or at least I might have to adjust the peg. Just seems like it's a little too far pointed up, maybe. You know, a little too much of a bend here. I don't know, maybe it's fine, but we do have double joints in the elbows. So we can have him doing chest presses if we want, whatever we want. We can have him doing crunches, you know. Let's take that stand out here. Now the cape is awesome. You can see the texture of the cape, the molding of the S that's on the back there. Really nice, and I love the material. It's like a really soft rubber, you know, so it's not like too hard, but yet it won't, I don't know, fly in the wind a little bit, you know. But at least it's got this really nice sculpting to it so that it'll look like it's just hanging really nice. I'm really digging that. So even in a flight pose, you know, that still looks pretty darn good. So we do have an ab separation there, so we have some bend up and down. Not too much of a crunch, but we do have a little bit backwards. So you can't go forward too far, but you can go back a little bit, which is going to be great for a flight pose. You know, something like that. Not a whole lot of movement in the head joint either, but you know, I could push that back a little bit. The legs, we also have a double knee joint bend here, so we have a lot of articulation there for posing. Same as the ankles here, we have some really nice ankle movement and the tip of the toes here, so we can really kind of point those out. You know, and it's a pretty good flight pose, look at that, even with the cape. Really digging that. You could even do the kind of like one leg up thing. You know, that's pretty cool. Now, we got the underoos back. Not bad. They're actually a soft rubber, kind of like a thinner version of the cape. So that's really cool. So you won't really get much of a, you know, any kind of plastic really stopping your articulation around the legs here. We don't have much of the thighs turning out, but we have a lot this way. We do seem to get a lot that way. And we have some in the back, but just be careful of the joint over there. And now the head sculpt. That's actually a really good head sculpt. I'm actually quite happy with that. That looks a lot like David Cornsweet. You know, I'm not all too familiar about how he looks, but this really does look like the Superman I saw in the trailers and stuff like that. I think they did a great job recreating that. So bravo to McFarlane for really nailing that head sculpt. I'm super happy with that. I can't wait to see what Hot Toys is going to do. I kind of canceled all my Hot Toys figures for the most part due to money and, you know, space and everything. But when this gets released, I'm just a Superman fanatic. I need to get this figure when Hot Toys puts this out. I do have a lot of the Hot Toys versions of Superman, so this is definitely not one I'm going to pass on. Now, let me swap out this hand. I'm going to leave the fist on that one, and we'll put a little flight hand on this one. The one thing I do wish they included as far as an accessory is a second fist hand. I don't really like this hand. I don't like the sculpt. I really don't. It looks like he's about to grab someone's, you know, junk. So I'm sure it could be useful for maybe holding an accessory or something like that. But I do wish this was just a fist or that they included a secondary fist hand. All right, that was a really easy switch. Sometimes swapping out hands and everything, I'm always worried that I'm going to break the joints. The one thing I am noticing is that, I don't know if every one of them is going to be the same, but this head is on really tight. Hear it? Just grinding away over there. And there's just a little up and down, so if you're going to put him in a flight pose, you know, or taking off or something, you're not going to be able to really get him looking up too far. You're definitely going to want to push the body back a little bit. Let's see here. Put this up against his chest like Superman flies. Oh, actually, look at that. That actually works out really, really nice. Oh, that looks great. Yeah, that is pretty cool. Look at that. I like that. You just got to bend the chest back a little bit. I do wish the head came up just a little bit more, but that's actually not bad at all. Really digging that. And you know, the other thing you won't be able to do without a second fist hand is be able to pose him like this, you know, with the two fists. You know, that famous Superman hands on his hips look, you know, like this hand. Honestly, I think this hand is just kind of useless. I wish it was just two fists. All right, my friends, that is about it. Let me know what you think down below of the brand new Superman figure from McFarlane, from the new James Gunn Superman coming out this year, 2025. I am super excited for the movie. I'm really digging this figure. I'm glad I grabbed it, but I do wish I got the version, or even found the version with Krypto, because that means I'm now going to have to go out and buy a second version of this. This figure is totally a great addition to your Superman collection. I do wish McFarlane did have two fists available for this, because I really don't like that second left hand of his. It just seems a little pointless and not very useful for posing, and I don't know, I don't like the sculpt on it, I don't like the shape. Outside of that, I'm really loving this figure. Let me know what you think down below in the comments, and don't forget, while you're down there, hit that like, subscribe, and notification button for upcoming videos. Alright, my friends, I will see you all in the next video. Be safe and kind out there in the world. See ya!